So Real Madrid dropping points for the first time this season. Let's get more on all that's happening in Spanish football, and we can join Semra Hunter live with us this morning. Good morning, Semra. Is there much concern over that result for Real Madrid after they missed a chance to move above Barcelona, especially with El Clasico next week?
No, there's really not too much concern at all. I think we all knew at some point that Real Madrid would drop points. It's only natural, even though they have been a winning machine as of late. Carlo Ancelotti, he has rotated in this game. He also mentioned the fact that a lot of the players, they just came back from international break. We have to remember, a lot of these players have been traveling all over the world. So they still have a little bit of tiredness. They're still settling back in to the club routine back in Madrid. They're still starting to get back into the rhythm once again with all of these games coming up. They've got 12 games, now 11, until the start of the World Cup. So there really isn't a bit of a concern. And the other thing is, Osasuna is a very formidable opponent, and they deserve a lot of credit. Last season, they went to the Santiago Bernabeu, and they also took a point off of Real Madrid. So it was entirely possible that they would do so again this time around, considering they've had a brilliant start to the campaign. I think they were 5th or 6th in the table before the game even started. They're a very solid side. They compete incredibly well. They sit deep in a low block. They have 2 lines of defense. It's very difficult for a club or a team like Real Madrid or Barcelona to find those spaces against such a well-structured side like Osasuna. So, no, there really isn't too much concern whatsoever. As you pointed out, the Clasico is coming up in 2 weeks' time. It's well poised to be a sensational Clasico. I highly recommend that you watch it if you get the chance to, because it will be well worth it, I promise you. But I think both of them look like it's going to be tasty. That's all I can say.
So let's talk a bit of Barcelona then. They beat Mallorca 1-0 thanks to Robert Lewandowski. How good has his start been since that move from Germany?
His start has been brilliant. I think it was something that we also can just expect from him, knowing how professional he has been, knowing how much he has scored in the past in the Bundesliga. And he's always had very quick starts. I think in the last few seasons, he's scored about 12, 13, 14 goals in a very short amount of time at the beginning stages of the season. So he's pretty much just picked up right where he's left off in Germany. 9 goals in LaLiga in 7 games, 12 overall if you want to throw in the Champions League. He's a guarantee of goal. And on top of that, he was provided 2 assists already. And it's what else he brings to the side. It's not just the goal scoring, but it's his movements on the ball, off the ball, the way he can drag defenders with him to create spaces for his teammates, the way he leads the attack, the way he reads the game, and the way that he carries everybody else around him. In the sense that in this game against Mallorca, for example, Barcelona didn't play that well. They didn't have their best performance. Xavi also rotated, but he was able to create a moment of magic on his own to get a result that they needed. And that's exactly something that Barcelona have needed over these last few seasons without a number 9 since Luis Suarez left. So he's been a brilliant addition to the team. You only expect more of the same. He himself said the other day, the quickest path to winning the Ballon d'Or is not with Bayern Munich, but it's with Barcelona. So clearly he has his own personal objective in mind, and he's well on course to maybe winning the Ballon d'Or once again with all the goals that he's been scoring for Barcelona.
Well, from one brilliant start to another, Real Madrid and Barcelona were both linked with Erling Haaland in the summer. Tell us, though, Semra, what's the reaction been in Spain to Erling Haaland's start to Premier League life at Manchester City?
I imagine it's probably pretty similar to the reaction over there where you are in England and in the UK in general, because he's just a machine. What is it? 3 hat-tricks in a row that he's scored now in 8 games or something like that. He's the fastest player to reach that amount of hat-tricks in a short amount of time. He's just unstoppable. And I think he's almost surpassed expectations. I think we all knew how good he was, obviously, because Real Madrid and Barcelona were very, very keen to sign him. And I think a lot of football fans here in Spain were very keen to have him come play here in La Liga. But in the end, he chose to go to Manchester City. And it's worked out incredibly well for him, for Pep Guardiola, for his teammates. And I think a lot of people, maybe players, teams, are starting to look a little bit worried about what he could do if they all of a sudden line up against Spanish opposition. He's been sublime, and it's really impressive. I mean, he's just a monster, a goal-scoring monster. Everything he touches seems to be working out to perfection right now, and he's getting great service as well, which helps. But yeah, I think people are incredibly impressed at how well he's taken to life in the Premier League, how quickly he's done so, and a little bit worried or afraid even as to what he could do in the future.
Well, he certainly cheered up Kyle Walker at 5 a.m, didn't he? Walking in with a big smile this morning. Just finally, Semra, we saw Cristiano Ronaldo on the bench yesterday. Wasn't the ideal derby that he was hoping to be involved in. Can you see a move back to La Liga for him?
No, I can't, to be perfectly honest with you. Real Madrid have shut the door pretty much since the day he left. Florentino Perez has pretty much always stood his ground by saying that he's not going to come back. They're not going to bring him back because they're looking to the future. They're doing other kinds of things. They're bringing in young talent that they're looking to develop. And Cristiano Ronaldo is getting older, obviously. So I think that door has certainly shut. I can't suspect that he would go to Barcelona. I think Xavi has other ideas in mind. I'm not sure that Cristiano Ronaldo would fit into that system and that style of play. And now they have Lewandowski. So where's he going to go? Atletico Madrid? Atletico Madrid. There were lots of rumours in the summer that potentially that was a place he would go. But Morata came back from loan, and Diego Simeone was very happy to keep him instead. And they closed that door to Cristiano Ronaldo as well. So apart from those three clubs, I can't really see a place where he would even want to go, to be honest with you, and a place where they would maybe have the financial wherewithal in order to bring him on board. So quite frankly, I don't see that as a possibility, I have to say.
Thanks very much for your time this morning, Semra.